Hockey season. Champions have been crowned. The teams have lost in heartbreak. But now it's time to recap the ECHL for the 2023-24 season. And we're going to do it in a nutshell. So without further ado, let's see how this script goes for all 28 teams involved. Observation years can be brutal when new ownership takes over, and Iowa is no exception. Michael Delvin has a lot of work to do with the Heartlanders, and it starts with changing the culture in the locker room. I don't think that having your players be involved with the law is going to help set a tone. They were lucky to dodge an even bigger bullet considering what would happen to a certain other ownership group. I'm looking right at you, Deacon. Congratulations! Your team was selected to be the unlucky victim of being screwed over by Dolan's management of sports teams. You get a consolation prize. Not even making the playoffs. This result was inevitably bound to happen with how you've been playing. On to the next offseason of potential changes. Maybe they can keep chasing pain away from the opposing team's mascot. Or perhaps telling the Rangers to go sleep with bisons can help. I can't fault them for barely missing out by only 3 points. This was their first year under a new head coach and Jesse Kalechi. They'll get another shot next season and hope for better results. How many times do we have to tell teams to not copy each other's names? Should be thinking that Wichita will be cursed by San Jose. If they had a bad season, it makes sense for you to have one too. I gotta ask something. Why are you still relying on Chef Bruce to coach this team? Yeah, one fluke season only to not get you to the promised land. There's no excuse anymore. Get your crap together or there's gonna be heads rolling. Typical Flames. That's all the rush season has been. Something about inheriting the stain of affiliates really has a lingering effect. Scott Burt will be lucky to get a third chance, and if he does, he better make the most of it. Spire Sports wants to see results and they want to see them soon. What happens when you give a head coach complete control over roster moves? The answer is that you get the Utah Grizzlies. Sad thing is that it nearly worked but couldn't finish the deal. Utah cares about supporting their team and won't settle for missing out by 2 points. There is a consolation prize, however. The NHL will be coming to the state next season via Cleveland Browns method. Hope you like having a new team name because that Coyotes name ain't going anywheres. It would also be fitting if the Grizzlies also joined Utah to be the ECHL affiliate. Forget about not making it past the second round. They decided to collapse like the Flyers and miss out altogether. As much as everyone would like to blame James Henry for starting to show signs of expiration, he's not entirely at fault here. The North Division was simply too competitive. Just be thankful you didn't feel the effects of the screw job. That honor belongs to these guys. Thanks to the ECHL not making any damn sense, the North Division was decided by points percentage instead of a more standardized method. If you listen close, you can hear the fans claiming that the league robbed them of success. Will that anger carry into next season? Just gotta wait and see what they do. Maybe they'll fail out better in regular play as opposed to imitating the Tennessee Titans and announcing the schedule. What a literal circus of a sports team. From hiring a former team captain and Derek Nesbitt to be their head coach, to having an 8-0 start, to finishing as the worst team in the league despite having switched affiliation over to a better team in the Predators. It's pretty obvious that they have no idea what the hell they are doing. That's not an exaggeration. The second worst team finished 14 points above them. You're lucky to not replace last year's Admirals, otherwise I'd be saying worse stuff about you. Get it together and stop trying to imitate other Atlanta sports teams. Jeez, what is it with Atlanta and bringing pain to their fan base? When it comes to expansion teams, they tend to struggle early in their history. Savannah continued their struggles into year 2, but something felt a bit off. Rick Bennett made some stupid decisions when it came to managing the players, and they got put on full display in their games against Jacksonville. Pulling the goalie down by 3, pulling the goalie down by 4, not subbing out the goalie when getting blown out at home, not pulling a goalie when getting blown out on the road, and countless amounts of errors across the board. Andy Kaufman had enough and he pulled the plug on Bennett. They did fare better under Alex Lowe, but the question now is how they address the coaching. Also, you better do something about your mascot. I don't think having an division rival Fang be more likable than Davy is gonna help matters. So it turns out that extending the deal with Lowell Capitals would also make a team in a competitive race become Lowell Capitals at the final moments. A prime opportunity to get back at Florida for that first round exit last year ended up turning to dust. The clock's ticking on your window with you decided it was time to move on from Kodak? Well, that's a shocker. They'll hire someone like Bennett and give everyone else something to work on. Maybe it'll result in them going back to the basement because his coaching philosophy sucks. Not much to say here. The Kalamazoo Wings end up being, well, Kalamazoo Wings all season. Selling with mediocrity and not putting up a fight against the better team. Getting swept should do the trick. Tune in next year where the same damn thing happens. Congratulations, Indy. You made the playoffs once again. Been wondering where you were? And the reward for such an appearance? Losing in the first round again. Look, somebody had to give in so that the Pacers can go on that deep playoff run, and the gods chose you to be that sacrifice. Who knew that having these rules about not being allowed to do what's part of the sport of hockey could be detrimental? You even got lucky and managed to win a game, but it wasn't enough. Have fun. Not bad, Tulsa. Not bad at all. You managed to make it out of the dumpster and found your way to be a force again. Too bad it meant nothing and you had to pay the price of bowing down to Kansas City. Talk about predictable. Hey Alan, wanna know a good thing about these results? The new ownership group is gonna feature Miles Jack running the helm. Yes, that Miles Jack. You thought I was joking, but it's what we call common practice. Just ask Beast Mode how that's faring for him with the Seattle Kraken. This team was lucky to even make it this far and even make the postseason. A lot of things could have gone wrong in an instant near the end, under that first year head coach, no less. Lots of financial trouble was brewing from Deacon, and it seemed as if they wouldn't even exist, let alone make it that far, or even win some games. Fortunately for them, a new ownership group came in at the last minute to buy the team and save the day. Their name is Spire Sports. They might be familiar to you as they've already owned a few other teams around here. That allowed the Lions to maintain where they would be for the next season. But that's still going to leave a lot of questions remaining. and only time is going to be able to answer them. Enjoy your team, guys. They're definitely going to try to make improvements, right? At last, a chance to atone for last season when Adirondacks beat them. A chance to upset them after forcing a Game 7. And it's going to be awesome to finally pull off a chance to go far. But what do the Mariners do? Go for the upset. Go for the upset. Go for the upset. Or lay an egg at the worst possible time, losing into Adirondack for them to advance instead. They laid an egg at the worst possible time, and Adirondack moves on after winning Game 7. Talk about pathetic. Don't give me that surprised look about the results. It's the same issues that keep plaguing the series every single year. Only difference is that it happened in the first round this time instead of the second. Iceman struggling in the second period, standard piss poor reffing, questionable decision making, Florida causing league-wide outrage, and constant decline in quality that leave people wondering if the Chiefs or Patriots are playing with spies in toxicity. Matt Vernon can't do everything on defense. Coffin might start to grow impatient soon, and the city's on the verge of paying money that could go to the arena for something else. I wonder if it has to do with a certain bigger team that wants to stay. Tick, tick, Luca and Mashinter. Tick, tick. You want the question about a three-peat? Oh, you got your answer of a three-peat, all right. Because the Rabbits are not just content with losing in 6-1 Florida team, and they're not content with losing in 6-2 Florida teams. Oh no, they want to go for the triple whammy. Losing in 6 to the Solar Bears in the first round. Third straight year, the results happen, all with different teams. Turns out winning the division really meant nothing when they still can't make it past the first round. To think they could have had the Stingrays instead. Well, it was fun while it lasted, but alas, your time is up. It's time for you to get swept by Toledo. Enjoy the couch. You're probably going to be sitting there for the foreseeable future. Does anybody remember what happens when there's a losing team on a hangover from a championship run? Well, Idaho, it's your turn to suffer from that hangover after having previously made it to the championship. The method of choice? Bowing down to Kansas City. Sorry, guys, we gotta have that trend continue. Well, this is quite the turnaround for a team. Last season, they were among the worst in the league and had that stupidly long losing streak. To think that they even made it to the second round is impressive in itself. This calls for a special reward. Getting your asses handed to you by Adirondack. Now don't collapse again or else I'll go even harsher. How many people does it take to drunkenly make it to the second round? The answer is a bear that wears sunglasses and tries his attempt to play hockey and fail miserably. The answer is not up to put up any sort of fight when it's needed most. There is one thing that helps to ease the sting from this playoff loss and actually bouncing back. Giving Joe Murdoch his first ever career shutout on your home ice. Now that's a lovely story to tell your kids, isn't it? So much dominance, so much strength, so much honor. It needs a reward that can best commend the services of the walleye. Oh, don't worry about that reward. You can go bow down to Kansas City, for this is going to be the reward that gets delivered. Thanks for playing. Everything was lining up for this to be their year to finally do something. The other Thunder team, to be exact. Adirondack had everything going for them, making it past in 7 against the Mariners to hold on strong, telling Norfolk to go back to reality. The Norse gods must be fed. Then everything was taken away in an instant. Something about the league saying screw your narratives because they only want money from a market home to nobody but old rich people that are out of touch. What a lovely league this is, right? After going on so deep of a run with the best in the league, having that best points trophy, and having the honor of being Kansas City to try to force new management, suddenly all that strength seems to have vanished. Apparently, they got told that only the Chiefs are allowed to win championships in forced management. You want to know how to knock in this situation? By not giving up 7 points in game one, or not blowing a 3-1 lead in game five. God, what a joke. Congratulations, ECHL! Not only did you tell Parity to leave the building, but you also left for one of the worst things possible to occur by accepting payments from a bunch of rich people who care nothing about the product. Step inside and see your reward of pissing off all 27 other fan bases, while the so-called champions make bogus claims about everyone having, quote, skill issues for the third year in a row. Sad part is that the Everblades look very beatable throughout the playoffs, but they keep getting bailed out by means of awful refing and attempting to find loopholes to get away with anything they want. The suspects in this case, as per usual, are Cam Johnson with his stubbornness to not let anyone else be the goalie, Tyler Newber and his aging ego full of arguments with Maginter, Brad Ralph with his full authoritarian power over roster movements, and the city of Estra, which is in the middle of nowhere. No, it's not even near Miami, it's not even near Tampa. It's literally in a separate area in the middle of nowhere. Now do us all a favor and get lost. Thank you to everyone who decided to play through this CCHL season. Your participation trophies are gonna be right out the front door, down the hall, and to the left. Enjoy your off season, guys.